Good Monday morning, everyone. We're going to get right to work today going over some of the trickiest, I guess you could say trickiest questions on the test. Some people might be more generous and just say more difficult questions on the test. My personal opinion is a lot of the questions are designed for no other reason than to confuse you. But we're going to dig right into a few of these questions today. Now, we can't go over every question on the test. It would take hours and you wouldn't be watching this video for the next 7 or 8 hours. Okay, we have every question available. We try to go over the most tricky ones in these short videos. So let's jump right in. Today, let's talk a little bit about permanent waving. Now, it's not as popular now as it was in years gone by, but interestingly enough, the state board exam asks just as many questions today as they did back in the 1980s when it was extremely popular. The test is still in the 1980s. It hasn't been updated at all in this aspect. So today, permanent wave questions. I'm going to read a few of them straight to you. Okay, what is the step after processing is complete and the hair has been rinsed for at least 5 minutes with warm water? Let me read this question again. What is the step after processing is complete and the hair has been rinsed for at least 5 minutes with warm water? Now they give you these choices. Apply neutralizing solution, place client under a warm dryer to remove excess moisture, towel blot the hair, or A and B. Again, what is the step after processing is complete and the hair has been rinsed for at least 5 minutes with warm water? And the correct answer is towel blot the hair. But right in that question, there's several things to keep in mind. First of all, the minimum rinsing time as per your textbook and the state board exam is 5 minutes with the perm solution and 5 minutes with the neutralizer. Now I will tell you, a person with long hair, it could be 15 minutes, but the state board says the minimum rinsing time is 5 minutes. State board also has a question, what type of water would you use? Cool water, hot water, warm water, tepid water? You would use warm water. Now, another word for warm is tepid, T-I-P-I-D. That word seems to show up especially in terms of chemical hair relaxing. It just means warm. You rinse the perm, you rinse the relaxer for at least 5 minutes in warm or tepid water. And you towel blot the perm. You don't put them under a dryer. You just take a towel and blot out all the extra moisture. There's your test question. Here's another question about perms. This is the final step in a permanent wave procedure prior to applying the what? The waving lotion. Okay? What is the final step in a permanent wave prior to applying the waving lotion? They give you these answers. Apply a protective barrier cream around the hairline. Lightly mist all rods with water. Provide the client with a small hand towel in the event any processing solution runs onto the person's face. Answer D. Apply a cotton coil around the hairline. And once again, this is the final step in the permanent wave procedure before applying the waving lotion. Answer A, apply a protective barrier cream around the hairline. Answer B, lightly mist all rods with water. Answer C, provide client with a small towel to blot any moisture or product that runs on their face. Answer D, apply a cotton coil around the hairline. Now they're all important steps. The question says, which is the final step? And the final step is applying the cotton coil around their hairline. If you put the cotton coil on and then you mist the hair, the cotton gets all wet. Then the cotton is too wet to absorb any solution that runs off. If you put the cotton on before the barrier cream, you're putting some kind of cream on top of the cotton. Okay? It's very logical if you were actually doing the service. But when we're sitting in front of a computer, logic sometimes goes right out the window. What is the final step before applying permanent wave solution? You apply cotton coil around the hairline. Now that's, like I said, just 2 questions on permanent waving. A couple of other random things on perms. What is the typical chemical used? Ammonium thioglycolate. It's a lot of words, right? A lot of letters. Those of you who've done it in school realize that it smells like rotten eggs. That's the one, ammonium thioglycolate. On your test, it is also referred to as ATG, the initials ATG, ammonium thioglycolate. It is sometimes referred to as thio, Thio, from the word thioglycolate. It is often referred to, especially on the cosmetology exam, as cold wave, simply because when a person would go to get a perm back before 1941, that's a long time ago now, but still, back before 1941, they would put these hot metal clamps on their head. And the hot metal clamps would sometimes fall and give you very serious scalp burns. In 1941, a French scientist patented the chemical that we still use today, ammonium thioglycolate. It processes at room temperature. There's nothing cold about it. It was a marketing gimmick. They wanted something which would shout out to the public, there's no heat involved to burn your head. They called it a cold wave, and the name stuck, and you still see that in your textbook. You still see it on your exam. So keep this in mind. Ammonium thioglycolate, thio, ATG, cold wave. It is the principal chemical used in a permanent wave. It has a pH between 9.0 and 9.6. After you wrap up the person's hair, you will mist it lightly in case some of them have dried already. You will put a barrier cream around the hairline. Then last step, you will put a cotton coil around the hairline to absorb anything that drips off. After you finish applying the lotion, you take that cotton coil off and put a new cotton coil around so nothing drops on their face. Now, if you keep these things in mind, you're probably going to do pretty well on the 4 or 5 perm questions. Make sure you join us for subsequent videos. We have several coming up, and we're going to do the same technique. We're going to go over 2 or 3 very common but very tricky kinds of questions on the test. Things that people report to us all the time they didn't know the answers to. If you have any questions, give us a call, 760-534-4434, speaking English or Spanish. Visit us online at www.cosmetologystateboardexam.com.